The man who steered New Zealand cinema through its coming of age in a bright yellow 1978 Mini is being remembered by his fans and collaborators. Legendary director Geoff Murphy died yesterday, aged 80, and after a long illness. Murphy dominated the local movie landscape in the 1970s and 80s, creating classics like Goodbye Porkpie, Utu and The Quiet Earth. And his colleagues and admirers say he built the stage that today's thriving industry still stands on. Rowan Quinn looks back at his life.
Where you going?
We're taking that car in for cargo, boy.
I'll drink to that.
Goodbye Porkpie, the car chase caper that showed Kiwi movies could be massive box office hits. A likely lad from Kaitaia steals a wallet, fraudulently rents a car, and to cut a long, funny story short, is on the run from the cops all the way to Invercargill. Director Gayleen Preston says audiences had never seen anything like it.
What Geoff was doing was inventing a new kind of Kiwi culture that wasn't polite, that was incredibly anti-establishment and good fun.
The movie made $1.6 million at the box office, huge money at the time, smashing records to become the first Kiwi movie to earn more than $1 million. But in an interview with RNZ's Wallace Chapman 3 years ago, Murphy said when the assessors were deciding whether to fund the film, they initially hated it.
In our day, you had to fight for what you wanted, and it was a real fight. It was like a fist fight. You had to bloody the other person's nose if you wanted something. Today, it's more like a pillow fight. So that sort of, we're here to help you, just sign here and do what we tell you to do.
As Murphy started out in the 1960s, movies were considered in peril. TV was seen as the new kid on the block, and many thought that Kiwis weren't interested in seeing themselves on screen. But through the dark masterpieces Utu and The Quiet Earth, plus Porkpie and Never Say Die and many others, Murphy proved them wrong.
We would thought, why shouldn't we have a film industry? Every other bloody country's got one, even quite small countries, so there must be some ways of organising it so this is possible. We felt that if there weren't any New Zealand films, it was a sort of signal to New Zealand kids that we weren't quite up to it. We had to prove that wasn't true.
Friends today have been remembering the creative man who was part of the theatrical band Blurter and was a talented artist. But they say Murphy also liked to get stuck into the practical side of filmmaking. Through his Acme sausage company, he helped build the country's first camera crane and often helped build sets and rigs. His lifelong friend and frequent collaborator, the cinematographer Alan Bollinger, remembers the slogan he created for the crane.
He had a line, getting New Zealand film off the ground. It was literally in relation to our camera crane, but it was figuratively really what was happening too, I think.
Fellow director and friend Roger Donaldson says Murphy was invaluable in helping create the explosions and effects in the dystopian thriller Sleeping Dogs, something he was always interested in. He remembers shooting a commercial not far from the Auckland Central Police Station, which didn't quite go to plan.
There was an explosion much bigger than any of us expected, and not long after the explosion, the bomb squad came up the stairs and said, "Hey, what's going on here?" And Geoff said, "Well, we're just doing a few special effects for a commercial we're making." It surprised us too.
Alan Bollinger says Murphy caught up with many friends and family in October when he celebrated his 80th birthday. And while he'll be greatly missed, his influence will be felt for many years in New Zealand films. For Checkpoint, Rowan Quinn, DNA.